All right, in this series, we're going to be going over setting up Built Easy LOI. Yesterday, we went over the general introduction of what Built Easy LOI does, as well as setting basic things up like your website, H2P, and getting your first email set up in the account. Today, we're going to be focusing on setting up more domains and more user accounts, which are specific, unique. You no longer need 365, G Suite, or anything like that. The next following days, we'll go over compiling and exporting data using PropStream or Batch or any alternative. Then we'll go into cleaning your data, uploading data to the CRM, and then finally we'll go into actually managing, operating, and holding you guys accountable. If you haven't seen yesterday's, go ahead and rewatch it. It's on our Facebook page or Facebook group. It's a very simple process. We kind of did this yesterday already, but I'm going to show one full example slowly for you guys, and then I'm going to go and do all the other ones also so you guys can kind of follow along. Basically, we're going to be using wherever you get your domain from, GoDaddy and any other alternative hosting or whatever, and we're going to be using Built to do this. Like yesterday, we're going to go to our settings, go down to our email services. So once you get in here, yesterday we set up one, and that's for our default one for the company, for general marketing and so forth. Probably the admin will end up using this one. If you are more than a team of one, and it's not just you, yourself, and I, then you probably want to have multiple domains in here. If you have multiple partners, multiple people, each person needs to have their own user. It is for longevity of sending out emails. It is for making sure that none of your emails go to spam and so forth. In order to add more emails, you can just literally click on dedicated domain and IP. And then we're going to click on add domain up here. And we're going to add the domain. So we'll start from scratch. We'll go with the mortgage release, mortgage relief. And in here, I mean, there's not really anything in here, so we can literally just take this, put LC dot and the address, add and verify, and we're gonna have to copy and paste, of course. Let's go ahead and do this. TXT, TXT, CNAME, MXMX. So we'll add new records, change that TXT, TXT, CNAME, MX. And once again, if you're using something that's not GoDaddy, you might not be able to do this simultaneously. You might have to do them one by one. So we'll go back and copy this and paste it. Go ahead and copy the required value and paste it. Same thing here. Copy and paste. That's all we're doing here is copy and paste, just like yesterday. And then once all this is copy and pasted, there's going to be one more that needs to be added, and that is the DMARC, and that's meant specifically for spam. Does this make sense to everybody how easy it is? Or is this still complicated? Priorities are going to be 10. Save all records. And once that's set up, there's a success. We can now go back to Built, click on Verify Records. So there's one more we need to add is the TXT, the DMARC down here. I'm going to go and add new record. TXT, DMARC, copy the value, paste the value, hit save. We'll go back to Built and verify records. And it's going to fail a few times, so we'll go back, click on verify now. No luck, go back. Yesterday we had it easier. Nope, we got it. We got it up and running, so that's fine. It just took a second for it to update from the DNS settings. Okay, so this is set up now for this account. I'm going to show you guys how to create an actual user for this one specifically. So we're going to literally copy it, the LC dot, and we're going to go to my staff. We'll create a new staff member in here, and we're going to click on add employee. Be the same exact name. The email is going to be at and you paste your domain with the subdomain in there. So lc.mortgagereliefarizona.com or whatever your domain is. Now, in this case down here, just make sure they're an admin. If you don't want them to have admin access, you have the ability of changing them to a user and giving them specific, like you don't want them to see the dashboard, we'll turn that off. If you don't want them to have access to automations or any marketing campaigns or payment processing or anything else inside of your system, then go ahead and deactivate it in here. And you can play around with this until you find your own format. Same thing, we bought a phone number, right? So you might want to assign a phone number specifically to this user, right? And in this case, I'll just assign this one. Down here at the bottom, when you're creating a user and you assign them a phone number in the system, and this is only for those of you guys that set up A2P for texting or so forth, make sure it's not selected underneath my phone number. Turn that off. We want the app, the actual browser app, to ring if someone calls. We also want your mobile app. If you have not downloaded the mobile app, you can do so now. It's called Lead Connector, and it's the same login information that you have for the CRM. And then same thing here, default channels, we want the web app, and the default channels for IVR will be the web app. Once you have that, you can go ahead and literally click save. And so technically, anybody, if you give this username to someone right now, they can go and log in to Built. And they can be an admin or a regular user or whatever. All right, so user roles admin, we'll just save it at that. So now this will be your default one that you log in, but you can also send emails from this one. You don't want to send emails from your info nor the Courtney one. And of course, when you get more phone numbers, you can assign to them too as well. In this case, Devin, Mindy, Jennifer, if all you're going to send LOIs, then you all need to have 3 separate domains, and each domain is going to be named Devin at LC whatever domain, Mindy at LC dot whatever domain, Jennifer at LC dot whatever domain. Each one of you guys will have a user. Now, who's the admin of your guys' account? Your original user account that you have in there, keep it as a backup if you're going to be sending LOIs, and that's just an admin of the account. When you set up the email service, you're going to create a new user that says Mindy at LC dot whatever the domain we created yesterday. And you're going to log into that one because you're going to be sending LOIs through that one. Again, this is meant to differentiate your personal email and your personal admin access to the CRM from your marketing aspect of things. Let's go back to this, and we're going to add the other emails in here, and hopefully we don't have any issues doing so. So let's go back to domains. We have already done those two. Okay, so the no home buyer is what we're doing next. Notice how we just created Brandon's, he has 2 separate emails, 2 separate domains, and 2 separate emails. I guess because he sends a lot of LOIs. And so if you think you're going to be sending more than, let's say, 30 or 50 LOIs per day, then you want to have more domains. We also want every user to have their own domain, so it's not all coming into one. But let's move forward. So now that we have a basically clean, what we're going to do now is just add some new records. So we'll go back, we'll take the address, we'll copy it, dedicated domains. We already have 2 inside of here. We're going to add a new domain for another user. We're going to paste the LC dot whatever the domain is. We're going to add and verify. So domain already points to an email server. We'll create new. We might have to go back to this one until the DNS updates, but we've officially cleared this one out. So we can go ahead and let's just go ahead and create a staff member since we already know who it's going to be. At LC dot, okay, so user. What permissions are you not giving them? So actually, let me save this as a user. For those of you, there's a more advanced feature. If you go to the labs, you can get a better view of the permission structure. That's a lot. You can just turn this one on. Settings, labs, turn this granular permissions. It'll be officially live in 10 days, but it's a lot better for your staff members. So now it's completely different. So Andrew Young, Andrew at LC dot paste, and We'll save that person. Roles and permissions. This is why this is better. You change it to user. You can only assign data, meaning they can only use stuff that's only assigned to them, and they can't check out your own. They do not need to mess with account settings. They don't need to have access to automations, blogs, calendars, certificates, communities, contacts they can have, maybe not give them access to bulk actions, conversations they can have, dashboards. They do not need access to any dashboards, no funnels, no marketing, no media, no membership. They can have access to their opportunities, which is actually where you perform your lead management. That's fine. No payments, no reputation management. You save that, and there you go. Now that you have this saved, you can actually copy this permission to your other users. But for now, that is set up as an only, basically kind of like an employee or user that only has access to very specific things. All right, let's go back and see if we can enter in this new domain. So hopefully DNS got time. All right, cool. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm actually gonna change this because it's really just a subdomain. So we'll change it to reply, and we'll add it. Enter records manually, and txt, cname, mxmx, right? So let's go into this, and it's the same thing all over, guys. All we're doing is the same thing over and over. txt, cname, mx, going back here, copying, pasting, both the host names and the values. Notice the subdomain is changed to reply here, and it's not LC. You can call it whatever you want, as long as you know how to keep yourself organized. All right, we're gonna verify domain. We'll go back, verify now, verify domain, and it's set up. Again, we'll go back to staff and add that employee. I'm not sure why I didn't add last time. Maybe I didn't save it. But either way, we need to change it because we changed the subdomain to reply instead of LC. So Andrew at reply.roshareresorts.com. Advanced settings, I'll set up a password. And then we'll save that. Roles and permissions, same idea. Change them back to a user. Only assign data. Turn off all of this stuff that he doesn't need. And if there's something you don't want them to have, just turn it off. If you're okay with them having everything, then go for it. All right, cool. Let's save that. Okay, so now they're in. But does that make sense to everybody as to how to add user accounts without needing to use G Suite or 365? So you don't have to pay for all those user accounts and domains and stuff. Cool. Yeah, so I actually put them in the help center now. And if you go to builtcrm.com/help and you click on the category easy LOI low equity, I'll just show it. So if you go ahead and you click on easy LOI low equity, you load more. Yesterday we went over just general stuff, so it's not really anything specific in here. That's in the getting started. So how to actually, set up your website is in the getting started checklist. We'll upload that new video in here, but basically everything we went over yesterday is right here. In regards to Easy LOI, which we just did today, creating users and emails, setting up email policies and domain configuration in your CRM. So if you click on that, you'll have access to, you want every email account to send out, as a typo, but 50 cold emails per day. Applies for all your email accounts, and then as well as how to set it up inside of your CRM. Settings, email services, dedicated domain and IP, everything we just did. We added domain, we use a subdomain, and here's an example, lc dot whatever the domain is. Follow the prompts, choose the option to add records manually, go to your DNS record configuration, log into your domain platform, for example, GoDaddy, go to DNS settings and add the required DNS records one by one, copying and pasting. This is the step-by-step right here if you do not like following a video and you like the text. So, and then how you create your user, same idea. Go to your CRM, settings, my staff, add up to 3 users per domain, click and add employee, put their name, email, and using the following format. Step by step, guys. We literally just did exactly what was in here, but in video format. Any questions? Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the fun stuff, actually pulling data from PropStream. Okay, if you have batch leads, it's the same thing, right? But basically, we'll be going over compiling and exporting data from PropStream that are low equity, that are our exact target audience for the low equity outreach for the easy LOI. The step-by-step is available in text format in the help center, but we will literally be going over it step by step, filtering it properly, and then exporting it and saving it and pulling it out. It shouldn't take us too long to do it, but we can also do multiple areas. If you don't have a PropStream account, okay, or a batch leads account, just on the help center, I think there's like an affiliate link over there for a 7-day free trial. Yeah, you can use PropWire as long as they give you, agent information. If they don't give you agent information, then you need to get them manually.